And so it came to pass that the day was to be saved by the most unlikeliest of heroes, a small child unwillingly thrust into the workforce. One disaster after another had been diverted due to her diligent and cunning decision-making.
Hey everyone, it's another Sordid review just for you. Today we're looking at Lil Guardsman, a game about a young girl named Lil tasked with taking over at the guard shed so her father can bet on sports at the local pub. This causes some very important people to take notice of her, and within the overall plot of the game, continue to have her work the guard shed in an attempt to benefit themselves. There's an overarching story regarding the Princess of the Sprawl, the city the Lil Guardsman takes place in, that drives the game forward. There's a lot of humor in the game as well. It's very tongue-in-cheek and well written throughout. It's more than just Papers, Please light as well. There is that inevitable comparison, but the game does more than enough to differentiate itself from Papers, Please and stand on its own. Gameplay-wise, each chapter takes place on a specific day. You have a royal writ at the beginning of your shift at the guard shed, with daily and secondary objectives, hinting at the choices you should make for an optimal outcome. As said earlier, the game is really well written, and has some interesting, hilarious characters such as royal suitors there to seek marriage with the Princess of the Sprawl, goblins, cyclops, trolls, dwarves, mages, somewhat of a who's who of fantasy tropes or archetypes with some regular magicians or goblin ball athletes mixed in. What's Goblin Ball? It's what you bet on, of course. It's your dad's de rigueur pastime to lose all his money, thus setting Lil up for a brighter future. Oh, the possibilities.
Boys don't know how to spell. But also that thing about Kelly being the worst.
The game has 5 tools used throughout each shift at the guard shed, which are powered by crystals: a whip, an x-ray machine, a metal detector to find concealed items, truth spray, and a decoder ring used to decipher notes or documents. You only get so many crystals throughout your shift, and each use of an item requires 1 crystal. However, this can be upgraded very early on. Also, any crystals you don't use are carried over to the next day. There is a shop to buy additional crystals as well as upgrades for your tools. Coincidentally, the shop is run by one of the people you let into the city early on. Each day is a different amount of people wanting access to the sprawl, and with each person you are allowed 3 action points. These are used to call people for assistance on the guard shed phone, use your tools, or even speak to the person seeking access. The device used to admit or deny visitors is the Wicket 3000. To start, it only has 2 working levers that allow or deny access, but later on a 3rd lever on the machine is fixed, allowing you to jail people should you see fit, or if you're feeling especially cruel that day. Who you let into the city is said to have a lasting impact on the well-being and success of the sprawl, and can determine fate of the city or the kingdom. There is a component to the game similar to Telltale games like The Walking Dead, where characters will remember your actions, but I'm not sure how in-depth that mechanic is throughout the endgame.
Let me pass on my way. I must rest before I meet your princess in order to win her hand and bring honor to my people.
This seems more legit. This may seem like a strange request, but would you mind saying your famous battle cry for me?
You mean Kapla?
That's the one.
I would hope that my stunning war cry is sufficient to being granted entry immediately.
Ow, ow, ow! This is not what we signed up for, Beverly. Can we get our $10 now?
All right, I'll be honest with you. I'm not the gallant Sir Beverly, knight of some minor renown. I'm just an envoy to plain Beverly, late-night custodian of the Goblin Ball Stadium, which is actually me.
You can confiscate items to sell for spending money, among them a severed head or a bugle. These items are kept in a backpack Lil has access to both in the guard shed and elsewhere. I think that is the only means of earning additional income, and it did provide a decent enough amount of cash for some extra crystals and a few upgrades at the previously mentioned shop. At least, I hadn't come across any other means of money during my time playing the game.
I killed 19 other mighty adversaries for the honor of delivering this message to your princess. I have brought you the head of the mightiest of these for you to inspect, as is our custom.
Oh my god! Thank you for the gift?
This is how you know I am worthy to deliver the words of the praetor to your princess.
The beginning of each level has a radio broadcast as well, which sets up various plot elements for the day, whether gameplay or story related. You also eventually receive a time machine device labeled the Chronometer 3000 from a character Dr. Marquess Beatrix von Matterhorn. The interactions with receiving the item are quite funny, so they're not something I'm going to spoil here. The time machine otherwise acts as a do-over should you be unhappy with how a scenario went with a particular visitor, allowing you to redo the interaction or even the entire day to see what you could have done differently for a more favorable outcome.
Wait, what? Where am I? What just happened?
You get side quests and story beats that allow you to visit various areas in the city at night that are short but well written. In my time with the game, I took part in sports betting, naming a building, answering a mysterious letter from foreign dignitaries, duping a herald out of the easiest 20 gold I've ever earned, and taking part in a game show, so I'd say quests are pretty varied.
I can't be any worse at this than my dad, so sure, why not?
After one of the most chaotic third quarters I've ever seen, complete with the rare capture of the Golden Mongoose, this is still anybody's game. But look, Kalida star player Saruna Goodfoot has taken possession of the wagon wheel and she hurls it. And it's passed through the flaming gates. That's the game, folks. Too bad, Sprawl Brawlers, but that is certainly one for the record books for Saruna Goodfoot and the Kalida Lightning.
Lucky guess, kid. Come back next time for all your illegal gambling needs. Just ask for Fredo.
Beverly,
Once your day is near
janitor at the
completion, you can visit the home base / hub world that is the tavern. There's a jukebox acting as an in-game soundtrack once it gets repaired, as well as various characters you've interacted with during the day at the guard shed, who you can speak to, sometimes influencing the plot.
Go off to rescue my darling love.
What the hell? I say, go for it, Beverly. Risk it for the biscuit.
Fail states in the game are often hilarious and are more than forgiving. You are bumped right back to the encounter just prior to what caused your death, allowing you to quickly jump back in and try something different. You're also graded out of 4 stars on each person you either allow or deny into the city. Should you wish to try again to see if you can improve, you have the ability to improve your score via the Chronometer 3000. Usually, of course, I'm not a big fan of dying in games. Whether my own fault or otherwise, it often doesn't feel fun. The times death has felt fun or at least earned in games like Bloodborne, Dead Space, or Cookie Cutter have been few and far between. Obviously, this game is not as difficult as those mentioned, but fail states are still fun to watch play out and see exactly how you came to be in that situation.
Brave little one, brave and stupid. Let the combat commence. Kapla!
It drives me crazy when people talk about me behind my back right in front of me. This is making me angry.
Well, maybe let's try singing? At times like this, what helps is this, calming down.
This isn't a duet. I'm the star here. You think you're going to burn me? It's me that's going to burn you.
All said and done, Lil Guardsman is a fun and funny game that comes in at the right price. Even if it's not a game you would normally play, it might be worth a look due to the humor and the writing. Thanks for watching my review and see you soon.